Hey, what's up? I'm Mason the Mason. In this video I'm going to show y'all how to pour a concrete floor. So right now it's all prepped, ready to go. So this is a crawl space. You can do it with a basement, whatever. The setup's all the same. So I'll show you all the things you need to set up and all the tools you're going to need. First thing you're going to want is plastic laid out. We use 6 mil, and you try to cover as much area as possible. And what that is a vapor barrier. So any water that potentially might get in here will not come up into the living space up here, and just makes it last longer. We got red chalk lines for your height. I don't know if you can see them right there. So that's where the concrete's gonna set. And most of the time I measure down from the top and make sure that it's the same all the way around and level. These are called height pins. We got some rebar, so they're spray painted orange. That way you don't lose them or hit them. And that's just so you know where to screed to. And we got 2 of them in here, and 1 of them over by Wavy Davy. Something that sucks about this pour is we got to do it from the road over there, not get a concrete truck up in here. So it all got to get wheeled, and you know, this ramp is how it's getting in here. So that's going to be interesting. Might take a little longer than normal, you know, extra work. All right, that's pretty much it for the setup. I'll show you all the tools I use. So you need a shovel, concrete rake, or come along, whatever you want to call it. We got this fancy screed here, a bull float, I got sealer, I got con film. That's basically keeps the concrete from setting up so fast. A sprayer. I use Darby sometimes, but all you really need is this to clean your tools in case there's a hose around. This is for finishing it. These are called finish blades. A mag for pouring. It's just like the Darby, so these 2 are for pouring. And you don't need this stuff, but that's for like decorative things. It's called edger and a double groover, but you don't need these for floor pours like this. And then 2 mud boards, unless you got more guys to go around and rub the edges. But I just have 2. You're also going to want some rubber boots. That way, you know, your shoes don't get destroyed by the concrete. And some wheelbarrows, you know. And you probably want to bring some buckets too, in case you don't have a hose. But I have a hose here, so I don't need to like fill up buckets with water. That's pretty much it. Ready to go. We're just going to wait on the truck here and make sure that we can get the ramp all figured out. So we're starting to pour here. They're wheelbarrowing it in. You can't really see back there, but we're getting a big pile. Big pile, and I'll talk about more once you come over here. So I'm screeding off the back section while they are mounding up a whole bunch of concrete for me right there. So all I do is I rake it out best I can. Took a little bit because it was such a big pile. And you go around, you rub all the edges. My guy's standing in the way here. But you rub all the edges, and then you can pull the screed back through. You also, oh my God, everybody's standing in the way. But yeah, you just rub all the edges, get your height pin rubbed out, and you can pull a screed across it. I'll have to make a good video about screeding one of these times. It's hard to do that when you're pouring because you don't really have any time to waste. But you screed it and then rub behind it. Right there, I'm finishing up, leaning over the wall, and then I'm bull floating it. Really hard to do, getting it the best I can. All right, once you're done bull floating, you got to fill in the edges, right? And since I don't have a power trailer, I'm gonna rub the entire thing by hand. I bull floated, right, but I can't get along the edge here too well. So what I gotta do is I gotta make sure it all looks like over here where I have it, right? And you can see over here it's all messy still. So all I do is you know, put some pressure in there, rub it, and you want to make sure there's no holes against the walls. And sometimes you're gonna have to scoop it up like that, get a big old pile of it, and fill in the holes around it. And that should fill in all the holes. If you got pipes like this, you know, go around in a circle like that. Nothing much to it except practice, you know. I'm tilting back and forth, you know, not too hard, you know. I guess I can get you closer down here. I'm tilting it like that, that's it, and sliding and pushing down at the same time. Now, how much pressure you put it down depends on how wet it is. So this is pretty wet. I don't need to be like, and like shoving it down. No, just gently doing that, right? Then I go all the way around the edge. But since I'm by myself and I have to rub the floor, I come to the other side here and I rub this side too. That way I don't have to, I can get more space out of it, you know? And then occasionally I got my Derby here, and all I use that for is a handle. So I'll show you that too. I don't really rub with the Derby because it's so hard. Like, see if you can see. Pretty good. All right, hopefully I don't block it too bad. But what I'll do is I'll take like the Derby and I'll put my left hand on it because I'm a righty, and I can reach out farther and get all that out there. That way I can do half of this floor at once, you know. And then I keep flip-flopping these boards. So once you take one out, you're gonna have to rub out all the marks. So that's my board right there. Pick her up. It leaves a mess. And what you want to do is rub in circles because you want it to blend in good. So by circles, I push down and I rub it in a circle, and that blends the surface back together from where the marks were. So that way, when I rub it, there's no marks left. And occasionally, if it gets too bad, you don't have to do this. I'm just a little bit over the top sometimes. I'll take my Derby and make sure it's all flat. And that's about it. And this is just a time lapse of what I was talking about, just flip-flopping my boards and going around the whole pad in a circle. So I go that way, and I kind of like predetermine where I'm gonna like go with my mud board so I can do less work and not like go over myself. So that's what I did there, and it turned out good. So once you start finishing, you gotta get the steel trowel, make it look all smooth like that. And all you do is just same thing. You put more pressure on it because it's hard now. A lot of pressure, and you just slightly tip it up back and forth. If you tip it up too much, it leaves streaks like that. So you got to keep it semi-flat. This takes a lot of practice to get right. And yeah, I'm gonna show you a trick against the walls because the walls can be hard. So if you take your fingers like this, righty. So you take your fingers, you push the nose into the wall like that. You can easily make the edge look nice. Sometimes you gotta go like that, but ride the wall all the way down, and then you can just smooth out around it. And that's how you finish. Then I just keep doing the same thing I did like when I magged, flip-flopping and magging the whole thing, same pattern, and it was getting really hard there. I had to get like some thin film and start like throwing it on it, and when I was rubbing, it took a little bit longer to do this part, make it nice, and I don't know, I thought it turned out pretty good, at least for a crawl space, you know. So that's what it looks like when I'm done hand finishing, smooth as I can get it. All that's left is to seal it. Yeah, pretty proud of that for a crawl space. I mean, don't gotta look too pretty, you know, nobody's gonna see it. And yeah, it's flat, smooth. So this is a sealer I use. It's called Vocomp 20. I just put it in my sprayer and spray it all over that, and that's it for pouring concrete. I came back the next day and saw cut it.